Hey, this is Waylon from Swiftwood Bows, and I want to show you how I add an arrow rest to my handles. Now, arrow rests are not strictly necessary for a self bow. I prefer to shoot off my hand, but a lot of people like to have something there for the arrow to sit on, and that's perfectly fine. Now, on modern fiberglass recurves, you'll mostly see a real deep cut-in shelf that provides a center shot for the bow. And so a lot of guys coming into the self bow world have gotten used to that. And so you'll see a lot of self bows these days with a cut-in shelf on a deeper riser. And it works. It's not really my aesthetic though. I don't really like how it looks and feels on my own self bows. And so when people are wanting an arrow rest, it's something that I add to the side of the bow so that I'm not breaking up the flow and symmetry that I find really beautiful in a self bow. So I've got this bow here that's ready for an arrow rest. You can really put the arrow rest on there at any stage of the tailoring process. The main thing that you need to make sure that you have is a handle that is finished being shaped. You don't want to add an arrow rest to a big chunky handle that you haven't shaped down to its final dimension yet, because the arrow rest is going to get in the way of doing that. So if you're partway through tailoring and you feel like adding an arrow rest, just make sure you've got the handle like you want it. This bow's been shot. It's ready for some finish work. I've already put some rawhide on it. So now I'm going to put the arrow rest on it. So let me show you how I go about doing that. So the material that I use for the arrow rest, it can be a lot of different things. When I first learned how to make bows from John Strunk, he showed me how to do it with a wooden golf tee. It works. It's just the right shape. You just got to shave one side down a little bit to make a gluing surface, and just a little bit of tweaking and it's good to go. So that's one simple option. I've started shaping my own out of hardwood. I use these Osage scraps that I've got tons of from the end cuts of my staves. It's tough, it's durable, it's easy to work with, so it's what I prefer. But any good solid hardwood will do. You could even use horn. Now I'm putting rests on there that are going to be covered up with a leather handle wrap, so keep that in mind. The final product is going to be durable and comfortable, but I'm not worrying too much about polishing it up and making it look really pretty in terms of the glue line and stuff like that. It's possible for you, if you want to add a shelf on the side and leave the handle bare, you can. You're just going to need to take some extra attention to detail and make sure that it looks as good as you want it to. You could do something with horn or antler, something like that might look a little nicer. That's an option too, but for this video, I'm going to be showing you how I do it, keeping in mind that we're going to be covering it up with leather. So I start with a piece about like this, and I'm going to show you how we start to shape it. So this is a really easy thing to do on a belt sander, and I often do, but for this video I want to show you how you can do it with hand tools in case you don't have a belt sander. If you do have a belt sander, I think it'll be pretty easy for you to figure out how you can do some of these steps on the belt sander to save you a little time. So the first thing I want to do is establish my gluing surface. I'm going to make a flat plane on one of these sides. I'm going to pick this side here. That way I've got the grain kind of working with me, the growth rings, to keep it more stable. Honestly, it doesn't really matter. You can choose any side you want, but I'm going to pick this side. So I like to use the fine side of a farrier's rasp for making flat planes, just because it's so wide and stable. You can really get smooth, even strokes. You just want to be careful you're not rocking the file back and forth. flat gluing surface is important. This is what gives this glued on arrow rest its integrity. So I like to be careful to make sure I've got a real good flat surface. So I'm just checking it here on this flat part of the vise to make sure that it's flat. And I think I'm going to mess with this a little bit more. I'm not quite happy with the gap that I'm seeing. One thing that works well is if you have some sandpaper glued down to a flat surface, you can use that to finish it off. There, that looks a lot better. Okay, so this is going to be the part that's going to glue against the bow. So I'm not going to mess with that side anymore, but now I'm going to shape the rest of this to look more like an arrow rest. So the reason I like to have this so long, it's longer than I need, but this way I can clamp in part of this back part that I'm not going to be using and do all my shaping out here. So what I want to create is a rounded profile here on the top that's going to fade down so that when our hand is gripping, it's feeling comfortable, and we want to have as little there as possible to do the job that we're asking. So a nice little round file like this works well. Maybe before I even start with that, I might take something a little bit more aggressive and just round these corners over. So I'm working this edge slope down without losing height here. You can probably imagine how easy this would be on the belt sander. I like to use the rounded end of the belt sander. The radius is just right for kind of scooping this out. But it's good to know how to do things with hand tools in case you don't have access to power tools. Okay, you don't need to make this perfect. We're just trying to get the general shape. I'm going to take the saw here and cut it off. You know, this is maybe 2 inches long. We want to have enough gluing surface so that it's getting a good strong bond. I'm going to turn it around here. This is the bottom end. I'm just going to take this down a little bit. I got a little bit of splintering here on the gluing surface side. I'm just going to clean that up a little bit here on the sandpaper. Okay, this is as good as we need to get it at this stage. It's probably a little bigger here than I need it to be, but I can shape it a little further on the bow, but I can get a better feel of how it looks and feels on the bow. But the important thing is we've got this general shape and we've got a good gluing surface here. So the next step is adding this to the bow, and I'll show you how I do that. So first things first, make sure you're putting your arrow rest on the right side of the bow. So it's always good to double check. This is a right-handed bow, so the left hand's going to be holding it. That's the top side. Don't ask me how I know, but it's always good to double check. So the next thing I want to do is make sure that I'm getting this in the right spot. I like to have it be about in the center in terms of back to belly. But in terms of the height, I want to make sure that I've got a 4-inch handle here, and the leather's going to be 4 inches tall, and I want this arrow rest to be right at the top edge of the leather. And so on a handle like this, it's a little easier because I've got some kind of landmarks here that help me establish where the distances are. So I'm taking this ruler, and measuring. So 4 inches is going to be like here and here. So this is going to be the top of my handle. So the top of the arrow rest is going to be right there on that line. So my handle is a little bit contoured here. It's not a flat surface, so I can't just stick this on like it is and expect to get a good gluing surface. So what I need to do is take a rasp or a file and make myself a flat spot to glue that onto. It's okay if you create a little bit of a lip here with your rasp. The rest can kind of butt up against that, and when you cover it with leather, you're not going to notice. I like to get down and sight underneath the, look at the glue line straight on, and if you see any light coming through, you don't have a good gluing surface yet, and I don't right now, so I've got some more work to do here on this spot. Better, but not quite there. Okay, that looks pretty good. So now I want to take something rough and just kind of scratch up my gluing surface to give the glue something to hold on to. Now I'm going to use some gel super glue, and I'm going to be really generous with it. I'm going to load this up, and I don't care if it squeezes out the sides. I just want to make sure I've got plenty of glue in there. So this is my last chance to make sure that it's lined up and even and it's in the orientation that I want it to be. I'm going to clamp it down and let it dry. When the glue's totally dry, we can pop the clamp off and we can finish shaping this down. That's where I feel like this round file really shines. So I want to create a really comfortable handle here where there's not a lot of extra meat here, but I want to keep the glue line coming all the way down to here, so you don't want to eat away completely at this length of the arrow rest. You want it to flow and form into the handle of the bow as much as you can. Now the ultimate size of your arrow rest really depends on what you like. Some people like to have something more substantial. Some people just like to have a little hint of something there. So just do it to your preference and comfort level. So that's what my finished arrow rests look like. And the leather is going to completely cover this up on this bow. But like I said, if you like the way it looks, there's no reason you can't just have a bare handle with that on there. So here, let me give you a better view of the handle. Well, thanks for watching my video. I hope you enjoyed it and found it helpful. If you have any questions, please let me know in the comments. I'll be happy to help you out. Good luck with your own projects. Thanks. Take care.